Okay, Keith Flaugh from Florida Citizens Alliance is going to talk specifically about Amendment 4.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm the CEO and founder of Florida Citizens Alliance. We focus on K through 12 education, and we often get accused of why are you involved in Amendment 4 and voting no on Amendment 4? Well, if we're teaching our kids that the value of life doesn't matter, we get what we deserve. I'm going to ask, you all heard the yes, yes, no, no, yes, yes story, but each one of you need to become an ambassador to get out the vote on this issue. On your chair is what we call a rack card. This one happens to be one of the two major PACs that we work with, Do No Harm Florida. I want to give you a quick background because most people don't understand this. To get on the ballot for an amendment, you have to have about a little under 1 million petitions. The ACLU, Soros, and Planned Parenthood funded $15 million to hire people to come in and get those signatures. To get on the ballot, the Florida Supreme Court has to approve the wording. A.G. Moody, Attorney General Moody, challenged that. And frankly, because 6 of the 7 Supreme Court justices in Florida were appointed by DeSantis, most of us figured that this was over. Do you know that on April Fool's Day, 4 of the 7 Supreme Court justices voted to put this on the ballot? The 4 men voted to put it on the ballot. The 3 women voted to keep it off because of how deceptive and detrimental it was to women. So I think that's important to know. Real quickly on this, I want to make a couple points. On this side of the card, you've got the exact amendment. No law shall prohibit, penalize, delay, or restrict abortion before viability. Viability is not defined. You will hear media. I saw ads last night. You're going to start to hear from the left that viability is 23 weeks. That doesn't matter. If this gets into our Constitution, there is no viability. They will be able to perform abortions up until the time of birth. The most important word on this card, in my opinion, is the next word, or. To protect the patient's health. How's your financial health today? Think about that. As determined by the patient's healthcare provider. The very first word is no law. So what that means is if this passes, every existing law and every medical regulation goes away. So now, any one of you in this room could declare yourself to be a healthcare provider, start an alternative medicine practice, a massage therapist, your dentalist, dental assistant. Anyone can now, if this gets into our Constitution, can provide an abortion up until the time of birth without any medical regulation. And by the way, this also, we worked really hard a couple of years ago that if you're a grandparent or parent, if you're a parent and you have a daughter who wants to get an abortion, at least one of the parents has to consent. That goes away. Okay? So this is a really important amendment. In Ohio, last fall, they spent the left spent $60 million on this. The right, the pro-life folks spent 30. And 57% of their electorate voted to put an amendment similar to this into their Constitution. If this passes and gets put into our Constitution, Florida will become the sex trafficking, Planned Parenthood capital of the U.S., if not the world. We're already 3rd in rate of sex trafficking. Think about that. So lots of people will try to tell you, well, I don't believe in the 6-week ban, or I think life begins, we should be at 12 weeks, or should we be at 23 weeks? Folks, none of that matters. Don't get trapped in that discussion. If this gets on the ballot, abortion up until the time of birth, without a doctor. Okay, so we have already distributed 20,000 of these in Collier and Lee County, and about 3,000 over in Miami-Dade. We just ordered another 10,000. Ryan Kennedy on my team will be out there. We have packets of 25. We urge you to take those packets and distribute them. Unfortunately, I'm still running into a fair number of pastors who think this is politics, and they should not be involved. A good number of them are waking up. But if you belong to a church where the pastor's not, I'm going to say something very aggressive. If you belong to a church where the pastor's not willing to aggressively fight this, find a new pastor. Thank you.